Brother Imam. Yeah, you all right? I said, yeah, man, somebody got to lead the prayer. Because I felt the food overtook my mind. You see? So the Imam said, look, Allah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we during the month of Ramadan supposed to eat like a poor person. That's how you feel the fast, because you feel all of humanity, those less fortunate human beings. So don't fill your plate up with stuff that ain't even good. Look, let me tell you something. The sister who was going to speak to this weekend, they're going to give you some information that will save your life, save your mind's life, you know. So I hope that she's going to make just a few comments right after we Jummuah today, and to invite you, just give you an idea. Now, so I got that in, and I'm apologize. I was running late. I ran into that traffic on 610, but it's okay. I'm here. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Dear beloved believers, another point that I like to mention to us in this khutbah today is commitment. Commitment for sacrifice and commitment to save your life. Commitment. We are committed to a lot of things, you see. And if you are not committed to save your life, then just go to the graveyard. No, and visit it. And talk to those that are already buried. You know, sometimes that'll bring a reality to you, because we're rushing a lot of anything. You know, when you go to Janazah and you look at those all, well, this year, that year here, you see years ago all the way back, young, old years, etc. Life is precious, very precious. So you have to turn to Allah and say, oh Allah, I have committed my life to you. And that's what the fasting does. Now, another commitment is the commitment for support of the life and those things that surround the life. You know, I came into Islam in 1969 under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the preacher of freedom, justice, and equality for the so-called American Negro in America. And let me tell you something, we had some terrible habits. We were captured, brought here, dragged here in the halls of ship, not on a cruise ship, as slaves, and fed nothing. Beat, stab, rape, lynch, everything. Fed every device. And do you know people eat chitterlings now as a delicacy? And they don't know that came during the slaves. When the slave would throw the pig guts out, they had some food to eat. So they made chitlins into a delicacy. I was doing a lecture at the church one time, and I say the word chitterlings, chitterlings, but ch and sh is the same. I say shitterlings and chitterlings. It's the same, because that's what the intestines do. It holds the waste. You know, a lot of them stopped eating shitterlings that day. Look, I lost my witness. I remember in my neighborhood that I grew up in, when it was cooking on the block, you knew somebody had it, because it smelled up the whole block. They had to put lye, you know that lye, L-Y-E? They had to wash it in lye to kill all the germs, and then cook it and eat it. That came during a slave man. But Islam brought us away from khanzir, hog, everything about it. But it's not just the slave physical food, but the slave mental food. You see? Now, so commitment and sacrifice. It made you not want to do anything for self. You know, when I was in the Nation of Islam, we used to sell the paper called Muhammad Speaks newspaper. And we would go out in groups, 4 to a car, and we'll go to these neighborhoods, knocking on doors. A lot of people don't know that. We knocked on doors. I knocked on so many doors, and I can't tell you the dangers behind a door that you knock on. And the brother is a brother named Renee 2X, I believe his name was. And we used to do a prayer before we went out. It's called Dua now, but we used to do a prayer. Oh Allah, guide me among those whom thou hast guided right, and preserve me among those whom thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom thou hast befriended, and bless me in whatsoever thou doest, grant me. We would do this prayer. And Renee, he said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Oh Allah, guide me among those whom thou hast guided right. And he went into that. And the only thing I heard was Bismillahir Rahmanir, because I didn't know what it was. I had just came into the Nation of Islam at that time. I said, brother, what was that you said at the beginning of that prayer? He said, oh, that's what the name of Allah, the merciful, benefactor, merciful redeemer. I said, man, where did you learn that, man? That's nice. He said, oh, we got an Arabic class that Ali Baghdadi teaches on every Saturday. I said, I'm going to that class. That was in 1970. I went to that class and I started taking Arabic because I wanted to learn the language of Arabic. And when I bought my Quran, we bought an English Arabic Quran, and every time I would be reading the English, I started looking over there. I said, I want to know what's on the other side. Allahu Akbar. Allah has blessed me today that I can read this Quran in this language. And I promised Allah that I will teach this Quran to his servants so that they can serve him better. Allahu Akbar. Now, what is my point? Because I got off a little bit on that. Let me tell you something. Lieutenant Douglas, he was the lieutenant at that time, and may Allah bless his soul and grant him paradise. He used to always tell us, brothers, he said, brothers, make sure you give that brother some money for gas in that car, because it don't run off of Assalamu Alaikum. That's what he would tell us. So I was talking to my son the other day, and I was telling him, because I had to do some things with him, he wanted me to take him here. I said, look, this car don't run off of Assalamu Alaikum. You know? And I said, you know what? When I come to Jummuah, I want to bring that to the attention here in this community. Because do you know that a lot of us think this masjid runs off of takbir? Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ya akhi. It don't run off of that. That's a social gathering. It runs off of money. You see these beautiful lights? See all this work we did here, because the roof was leaking and different things like that. Beautiful carpet got to be vacuumed next year. I tell the brother, I said, look, when you see a piece of paper, don't look for the janitor to pick that up. You the janitor. When you see something that's not right, you make it right. And if you say, well, I don't know how to do it, ask permission. Men are supposed to be the maintainers over the masjid. Ya amaruna, ya amaruna. You know, it says that the mosques are not to be maintained by the disbelievers. It is supposed to be maintained by the believers. Ya'amaruna, the word is. You know, Ya'amaruna is from Umar. Umar means life, but it means life of maintaining the life that you have. So you have Hayy, you have Umar, you have Isha, you have a lot of words that mean life, and they have different aspects of life. But Umar means you maintain life. Just like a man come to you and say, brother, I would like to get your permission to talk to your daughter for marriage. Okay, you hear her, Wali. What do you do? Are you able to maintain my daughter? Now, I don't grow her up and got her fed and everything. Can you do that? Or are you going to put her in an underground shelter, wrap her up behind a wall, and not take care of her? This is what the man wants to know. You don't just give his daughter to anybody, and you don't just give your son to anybody. But let me tell you something. So we have to make a commitment. I called the Imam Farouk, who's his treasurer, secretary. He's been everything here in this community. You know, if you want to know anything about the history of this masjid here in the community, when I was the imam here, I had to consult with him because he had the history of it. You see, Imam Wazir, when I left it in his charge, I said, keep these people on staff, always keep history with you because they know what things were before you got here. Sometimes we forget, and you got a crew out here right now trying to make people forget about who established it. But I gave everybody one. I told them, I said, look, make sure you have these out because I want to appeal to the commitment. I know many of you have a mortgage. Are you committed to paying that mortgage? Yeah. You pay rent, right? You got car with a car note and insurance. You're committed to pay that car note and that insurance, or they gonna what? Repo. Or get evicted. We made commitment. We make commitment to eat food. Commitment. We make all these commitments. Life insurance. That's one of the biggest games that they got, life insurance. I ain't gonna go into that history, but they say, well, we can get these people to pay before they die. Health insurance, big game. They make you sick so that you can pay for the sick. You pay for the sick, for being sick, and then pay for health insurance. And if you don't have it, they penalize you. They take your taxes out before you even see it. They go against right what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, pay the man before the sweat leave his brow. That's what the Prophet said, you know. But you got to wait until they take all your taxes out, then give you a check that you don't work 18, 16, 40 hours a week, and then they give you a check. You see it, sure, man, I will be making $25 an hour, man. This has been cut in half. Because the government take it. Because you are committed to the government and they'll put you in jail if you don't make the commitment. Now, you tell me, is this the house of Allah? Huh? Yes. Shouldn't we be committed to this? This is our center. The masjid is our center. It brings us together. You know? Whole chapter on Jummuah. And Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu amanu stajibu lima yuhyikum idha jummati. My mind is rushing. Oh, you who believe, idha da'akum lima yuhyikum. When the prayer is called on Friday, Jummuah, then rush to the dhikr of Allah. Isn't that right? But look at what it said. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha da'akum lima yuhyikum. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Nudiyat lis-salati min Jummati. Yeah, nudiyat lis-salati. But the word here is not adhanat lis-salati, it's nudiyat lis-salati. Nudiyat is a call. Adhan is a call. Dua is a call. But Allah uses nudiyat lis-salati min yawma jumu'ati fas'aw ila dhikrillah. It says when the nudiyat is called. Nudiyat is a prayer that is established in faith. Allah says in the Quran that the Prophet said that he made a call to those who are faithful. And the word that is used is nudiyat, nudiyat that is used there. Why am I saying this? Brothers and sisters, this masjid, this religion, what we have, is based upon faith and commitment. I was talking to a sister about this, and she made comment to me. She said, you know something, Brother Imam? When I was in school, my account was fluctuating all the time, but I knew I had a credit card. And I made a commitment to